Okay, Ollie Watkins to Manchester United. As I said, we're going to try and continue this ride of positivity at this club at the minute. I don't know how long I can make that last, because with Manchester United there's always something going on, but hopefully this can last a bit longer. And yeah, this news of Ollie Watkins to Manchester United is definitely a positive news. You know, it'll be even better if he comes to the club, but there are some caveats to that. Don't let anyone tell you that Ollie Watkins to Manchester United would not be a good move, because he would. He will be 30 years old in December, and hopefully we can get at least 3 good years out of him. A player who's extremely consistent, a player who can at least he's shown us for the last few years that he can get you 15 goals in the Premier League. Last year he almost got 20. This season he only had 16. He had a bit of a down year, but we all know, we've all seen what Ollie Watkins can do. The stats are there to speak for themselves, and the eye test, if you haven't watched him play, make sure you go and watch him play. At the minute I can't do my usual reactions, but I'm just going to talk about him. I'm just going to talk about Ollie Watkins and him coming to Manchester United. And again, although I said it is a positive thing, I do have to add a little caveat. And the caveat is that from the rumors I have seen, they're saying that United want to sign Watkins if Højlund leave. And I feel like this is a problem for 2 reasons. One, I don't think we should get rid of Rasmus Højlund just yet to sign Ollie Watkins. I do think at the minute Ollie Watkins is a better player than Rasmus Højlund. But when you take into account age, when you take into account potential, I genuinely believe 100% that Rasmus Højlund has the potential to grow into a type of striker that the type of striker that Ollie Watkins is. So if we're going to sign Ollie Watkins on the pretense that we're going to get rid of Rasmus Højlund, I don't want that to happen. And the second reason why, so it's still on the same topic, but the other reason why I think this is a bad idea is because even if we sign Watkins and then we're just going to get rid of Rasmus Højlund, I don't think that's a good idea either. In my opinion, Rasmus Højlund is a better striker than Xerxes. He has a much higher upside than Xerxes. So if we have to get rid of anyone, it would be Xerxes before Rasmus Højlund. So if this caveat is true and is dependent on Rasmus Højlund, then I think it's not the best idea. Now, if we get rid of Højlund and we still get Watkins, you know, I won't be necessarily happy, or I won't be necessarily thrilled, but actually, let me rephrase that. I won't be sad. I won't be sad, but at the same time, I won't be thrilled about it. I understand the type of player we're getting, but again, is that potential, is how many years he's going to be at the club. And I still think that if we get Watkins, we're at least going to get 3 good years out of him. So we're going to see how that goes. But again, it's not the best idea. But if we have to pull that button, then I think for the type of player that Ollie Watkins is and what we need at this club at the minute, I still say do it. So I wanted to start this video with this point, because I think that this was my biggest this was the point that was holding me back the most in terms of this deal, because I think this deal was fantastic, but that was the only thing that was holding me back. And now let's talk a bit more about the impressive things about Ollie Watkins. Now, this season in the Premier League, he did have 16 goals. Not the best in terms of elite striker numbers, but 16 goals in the Premier League, those are good numbers for a striker in the Premier League, especially when you take into account what our attacking players did last season, which was nothing. So really and truly, us United fans, at the minute, we are beggars, and beggars cannot be choosers. So if we can get Ollie Watkins in, and if he gives us 16 goals next season, I'll be a happy man. I obviously expect more, but 16 goals would be a good starting point. But then here's the thing about Watkins. It's not just the goals, because he also had 8 assists. And there's a lot of the work that Watkins does off the ball. Is a lot of the work he does linking up play. Is the pace that he has. You know, Watkins is a complete... I wanna be careful before I say this. He's not complete in the same sense that I would say Harry Kane is a complete striker, but from what you want out of a striker, Ollie Watkins does a lot of things well. So yeah, I would say he is a complete striker, not as complete as the very elite strikers out there in the world, but even so, he's a complete striker and someone who's going to get you good numbers in and out. So 16 goals and 8 assists. It is, again, it's a bit more impressive when you look at last season when he had 19 goals. When Ollie Watkins scored 19 goals and he went into the Euros and he bailed England towards the final. So again, Ollie Watkins is someone that can definitely do it. So if we're talking about this deal, I don't know why I'm explaining it so much. This is a good deal. This is a good idea. And if you walk out of this video with one message, it's that I believe this is a good idea and we should get it done. The only caveat would be Rasmus Højlund, but for the type of player we are getting, I would be willing to bite that bullet, even though I wouldn't be very thrilled about it. And now still talking about numbers, is the simple fact that Ollie Watkins is Aston Villa's top striker with 75 goals all time. He has 75 goals for Aston Villa all time. He's the top goal scorer, and I feel like that counts for something. You know, you don't become a top scorer of a top club in England without being consistent, without being someone who can put the ball behind the net consistently. And this is what Ollie Watkins has been doing throughout his career. He's a very consistent striker. And for people out there saying, oh, we don't want Watkins, you don't want someone who's a consistent striker who for the next 3 years, I believe, will at the bare minimum be able to give us 15 goals every season. I'll take that, especially when you pair him with Mbeumo, when you pair him with Cunha, when you pair him with Bruno Fernandes, when you pair him with an improved defense. Now that's the team that can challenge for things, you know? So again, Ollie Watkins is someone who's extremely consistent, who's been able to put up good numbers. And people saying he had a bad season last year. I don't think he had a bad season, to be honest with you. I think he did have a step down from the year he had before, but the year he had before was elite. So he did have a step down from elite, but he can reach those heights. And I feel like that is potential, and that is potential that I am very much willing to buy. And then the last topic I want to talk about here is the simple fact that Manchester United, I've touched upon this in a second, but at the minute, we can't really be doing this thing of we don't want Ollie Watkins in our team. Ollie Watkins and Mbeumo and Cunha were all in the top 10 top scorers in the Premier League last season. Who are we to say that we don't want these players in our club? You know? Get him over to United. Let's see what he can do. We kind of already know what he can do. And then you pay him up, even if Mbeumo doesn't come, and you have a front three of Cunha, Watkins, and Amad Diallo, with Bruno Fernandes behind them, with Kobbie Mainoo with another year of development, with a centre back partnership of Lenny Euro, De Ligt, and Martinez. This is a very strong team, and Onana, who has his head straight. This is a very strong team, and I'm very, very much willing to get behind this team. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you watching this video until the end. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what you guys think about Ollie Watkins to United in the comments. And as per usual, I'll see you soon.